So here's the real question. How do dentists like you, who aren't willing to let insurance dictate how you will run your practice, who want to create incredibly profitable practices without sacrificing your time or sanity, how do you create the strategies to ensure your practice not only survives but thrives in the 21st century? That's the blaring question, and Dr. Steve Schlintz is here to provide the answers. Welcome to Dental Practice Freedom Radio.
What is up, everybody? This is Dr. Steve Schlintz. I want to welcome you back to another episode of Dental Practice Freedom Radio. And I cannot believe it's been 71 episodes now on this podcast. It's insane how fast time has went by this past year. And the viewership and the subscribes and all that stuff, it's just been amazing. So thank you guys so much for the support. And, as I was kind of reflecting on some things, I had quite a long drive today. And I do a lot of commuting recently, and that's okay. It's of my own choosing, but it is a lot of commuting. And I take that time to listen to a lot of audiobooks. And I've kind of limited how many mentors I have now. The last few years, I've just been inundating myself with books and podcasts and reading and this and this and this and this and this. And when I was listening to this concept, it really resonated with me, and I think it's going to resonate with you if you're in a practice, or maybe you have a dental practice already, but you're working on another part of your business, or you're trying to streamline your practice to really create maximum value for your patients. I think what I'm going to talk about is really going to hit home for you, and it's helped me personally, because this is kind of what I've been doing already the last few weeks, really identifying, and it just kind of solidified for me some of the things I was working on. First thing I did is I'm limiting how many things I listen to in terms of mentors to 5. If you guys remember Jim Rohn, I think he said you are who you spend the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with. You're an average of that group. And I was thinking about the mentors that I was following and listening to. I was finding myself getting really overwhelmed, way too much information, way too many different avenues to pursue, and I actually wasn't moving in any one direction. And that concept was really brought home by Essentialism by Greg McKeown. That's not even what I'm going to talk about, but Essentialism is a book that if you have not read, you have to read, because it goes part and parcel. I think that's the way you say that. Part and parcel with this concept. Now, this concept was talked about by Mike Michalowicz in The Toilet Paper Entrepreneur. And if you guys know anything about me, you know I love Mike Michalowicz. He is one of the 5 that I study. I just digest all of his information because he just has a way of speaking to a small business owner, but a growing business owner, and how to do it the right way, how to be profitable from day one. I can't stress enough, if you're in your practice or you're starting another business, the ability to be profitable from day one is probably I'll stand corrected. It is the most important thing you do. Because if you are not profitable from day one, there's a tendency for us to say, well, we need to grow, we need to do this, we need to do that. That is not true. You need to put a structure in place that allows you to be profitable from day one. And Mike Michalowicz talked about this idea of saying no to grow. And I said, wow, that is say no to grow. And I thought about my dental practice, and I thought about my coaching business. And in my coaching business, I'm really going through this process. I'm starting to say no in order to grow, because I'm saying no to a lot of potential coaching clients to focus on the few I can really help. And then to build out programs that actually allow those dentists that I can ideally serve to flourish and grow. And so those of you who have listened to my podcast know, I spend 99.9% of my time with my clients on new patient process, the sales process, and mindset. And if it's not one of those 3 things, I'm probably not going to be able to help you that much. It's not that I couldn't, and it's not to say, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and I might be able to, but it's not laser focused enough to really create an impact for my clients. So as I started to listen to this, it reiterated to me what you should do in any business, which is there is a tendency, especially as a dentist, to feel like I need to do all things. I need to be all things to all people. And in order for you to grow as a practice owner, in order for you to grow your business, you have to learn to say no as a business, and you also have to learn how to say no personally. And it's only when you say no as a business and no personally to a lot of things, you're going to give yourself the space and the capacity to grow where you need to grow. Okay? Now, let's think about the practice. You might say, this is counterintuitive. I want 100 new patients. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. I want to be able to do crowns, root canals, implants, blah, blah, blah. And the reality is you might have a practice that you need to do that. If you're more PPO driven, for example, you probably are going to have to do that more than somebody that's more fee-for-service driven. I would tell you, if you're fee-for-service driven, you really need to listen to this message, because if you're not doing this, if you're not eliminating patients that aren't going to serve you in the practice so that you can really dedicate your time, energy, and attention to those patients you can really take to the highest level in your practice, you probably won't exist as a practice in 10 years. I just fundamentally believe that. As a fee-for-service practice, you have to be different. And you have to know who it is you're trying to serve. And you have to have the cojones. I know there's a lot of women that listen to this podcast as well, but like, you have to have the cojones to say, this is who I serve as a practice, and this is what our ideal offering is. And if you can't do that, it's not to say you can't be successful and profitable and all these things, but I fundamentally believe that in the long run, your business will suffer as a result. Things will get scattered. They'll get, your team will get overstretched. You will be overstretched, and you can't reach your maximum potential as a business owner. So you have to be able to identify who your ideal patient is, what your ideal offering is, and you have to say no to some things that you might want to do. You might have to say no to dentures, right? Even though you might not hate dentures, but you might say, is this consistent with our office? And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And if it isn't, then you have to say no. It's that simple. Where you can really implement this is in your own personal life. Start to say no to things. It's very empowering, right? You say, no, I can't do that. No, I can't get on a call with you for 45 minutes to, talk about your problems. No, I can't. I'd love to, but I can't, right? No, I'm not going to tolerate going on Facebook for 3 hours to look at other people's posts. No, I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that time and invest myself personally, professionally, learn my goals, understand who I am, what my operating belief is, what my belief system is in general. Let's improve my health, those kind of things, right? There are a lot of things that when you do something like a time study, for example, there's going to be a lot of time wasters. And you're going to have to ask this question, because this is a question I have all my clients ask themselves. If you truly enjoy it, if you enjoy being on Facebook for 3 hours and seeing what other people are doing, then keep doing it. But the reality is, if you ask most people, they don't even enjoy it. It's a habit. And it's a habit that isn't serving them. So in order for you to have habits that do serve you, you have to let go of habits that don't serve you, right? It's called the vacuum law of prosperity, where basically in order for you to get something, you have to give something up. And there's a lot of things that you have to learn to say no to so that you can create the space that's necessary for good to come in your life. And the easiest way to do that, honestly, whether it's your business or your personal life, is to go, okay, well, I'm going to say no to something and replace it with something that I truly think will help me get towards my goals, both personally and professionally. That is the power of saying no in order to grow. And I really encourage you to analyze, who am I saying yes to, who am I saying no to, both business and personal. And if I'm saying yes to too many things, how can I begin to trim this so that I'm saying yes to the essentials that are going to help me where I need to go, and learn to say no to the things that are no longer going to serve me. And I will tell you, the first times you do this, it's going to feel weird, because you are most likely a dentist if you're listening to this, and you love serving people, and you love saying yes, and you love being able to help, and that is truly important. But you have to ask yourself this one specific question. Am I actually serving anybody by saying yes to everyone? And I'm going to guarantee you that if you really ask yourself that pointedly, you're going to find that the more people you say yes to, the less help you're actually giving anyone. And so, if you get value out of this podcast, if you get value out of what I'm doing, please, please, please leave me a rating and a review on iTunes. That would be greatly appreciated. As always, I highly encourage you to go to the link below, or if you're looking at this on iTunes, I'm putting a new link up I am starting to do something a little bit different with Dental Sales Secrets. And, if you're listening to this and this really resonates with you, I really honestly think that if you are not already in Dental Sales Secrets, it is a tremendous platform to take these concepts that we talk about on this podcast and really go in depth on how you can take this into your practice to really do more meaningful dentistry. That is my passion. I want to be able to help dentists get to do more of the amazing dentistry they're capable of and ultimately help their patients to the highest level. And so that was what Dental Sales Secrets was created for. I know sometimes when people hear that, they're like, oh, dental sales, I don't want to do that. I wanted it to be kind of polarizing, but the reality is it is built on how do you build a comprehensive style practice that actually serves your patients and serves you in the process by making you more profitable. So I highly encourage you to go to that link that's posted in the description of this episode. And as always, keep tuning in, keep listening, keep telling me what you want, and I'll be sure to get it to you. Take care.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode on Dental Practice Freedom Radio with Dr. Steve Schlitz. We'll see you on the next episode.